The title of today's lecture is called How to Gain Publicity Through the Media. And the first thing, I'll go over some of the main concepts. There are three basic approaches in dealing with the media. You contact them about whatever you feel is newsworthy, whether you're talking about radio, television, newspaper, magazine, through a fax, an email, a phone call, or even a personal appearance at their office. You have some way of delivering this to them. And the invitation, the three approaches. One is a press conference. You have a location, and then you have multiple media there at the same time. You see that, for instance, for the president. Many media show up. There are all these microphones there. They're speaking to all the media at one time. Now, my experience with 5 PR campaigns is I was not successful with that. But if you're a big enough name, you can command that. We always went with the other approaches. We tried the press conference, but we were not successful with it. A large enough name would draw multiple people to come at one time. The other way of going is you invite the person on a one-to-one basis to your location, or you go to their location for the interview. Done that many times, hundreds upon hundreds of times. And the third approach is you go to some site, you travel. When you're traveling from out of town, the media have more interest. Well, he's traveling all the way here as part of a campaign to bring a message. For instance, we did that with road rage over 10 years ago, developing the whole road rage campaign and being responsible for actually publicizing the whole phenomenon of road rage and coming up with a cure for it. So going to the location, for instance, there might have been a murder, road rage murder on a freeway. So myself, my publicist would actually go on location, and then a media person, one television show may come, and then later another one would show up. Usually they give us some notice, well, the day before, whatever, that they're going to come. Now, you can always be preempted. If some kind of major disaster happens, they'll drop you and just go with that. So you can be preempted in that way. That affects how much likelihood you're going to have for your own coverage. Which then brings us to the other aspect, which is a hook. Whatever hook you have to bring the media, whether it's road rage, or I've done death visualization, mind walking therapy, gym therapy, social revolution of dialogue. These are ones which I'll talk about as examples. Those were all hooks to get the interest of the media. But a major disaster going on, a major flood, or some kind of mass shooting is a more powerful hook. Typically, the more drama, the more powerful the hook is. And in some sense, negative is more powerful of a hook than positive. For example, when you say, I've discovered the cure for road rage, it's not nearly as powerful as getting media attention as Dr. Nerenberg has discovered the 5 deadly causes of road rage. So it's talking about discovering the 5 deadly causes gets much more interest. As a matter of fact, when I'd be interviewed about road rage, and I would go into the causes and how to deal with it and so forth, and I said, but I also have a cure, psychological cure, and a technological cure, and they call it the Nerenberg cure for road rage. But in truth, there wasn't that much interest in it, because what would sell, and keep in mind whether you're dealing with newspapers, radio, television, or magazine, is something that's very dramatic, and death does that. As a matter of fact, what popularized road rage, what really got it off the ground, was not the fact that we lose more Americans in 2 years due to aggressive driving than we did in the whole Vietnam War. That's not what got the media's attention. No. It's an important statistic, but that's not what brought the media in droves. That many deaths. What brought it was shootings on the road. That was a lot of drama. People would be shot on the freeways, which was primarily done by men. There'd be rammings on the freeways, by the way, primarily done by women. Assaults, people getting out of their cars and assaulting one another. That brought the media's attention to a very crucial issue. So again, the negative hook has more power in terms of the media